I just believe in the process, and we're going to win going through the process.
Now, Bills Mafia, it's time for the main event. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, the UK Bills podcast, Bills news with a UK twist. Alex, Matt, getting ready for week one. Week one, which is on Sky at 6 o'clock. And big announcement, we have a venue, if you're in London, to go watch it. We've made a partnership with Fitzrover Bell. There's a couple of places, a couple of their venues that are actually showing all our games. And we've got a partnership with them that they'll show all our 6 p.m. games and 9 p.m. games. So you can find them at 174 Tottenham Court, London. Or if you want, there's the Moortown Bell, which is their other venue, which is 5 Thomas More Square, Neesham Street, London. That's East London and a bit of West London. So you can take your pick. Alex, how you doing and how do you feel about that news?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for football to be back. I'm wrestling with staying up tonight to watch Tampa Bay Dallas. I don't have a lot of is it teeth in the game, skin in the game? I forget what the saying is. I don't have any. I don't think I have any fantasy players tonight. So I have Tom Brady in our sleeper league, which is a dynasty. But I don't care that much because that's not a money league.
Well, not yet. We'll make it next year. I've been busy this season, this off season.
But about the news, absolutely.
Yes.
Since I came on in 2017, 2018, we've been clamoring for a Bills backers pub in London. I know we're all over the place in the UK, but anyone who wants to go and watch games with Bills Mafia, we now have a designated location. I will make it there as often as I can. Matt, I hope you will too. We're going to try and set up a big party for everybody to make the trek, right? Do we have a game? Do we have a date for that yet?
7th of November against the Jags. I don't know which location we're going to do it in. We're doing it in one of them. I'm just actually getting that arranged. So I'll hopefully have confirmation of that tomorrow. But it's going to be one of those. It's going to be a big meetup and just getting all together, supporting the Bills, having fun. They do wings there. They do wings.
You do. Okay.
Authentic buffalo style sauce as well, apparently, according to their menu.
All right. I'll be the judge of that.
So we'll have a judge. We'll have probably some Americans down there as well. So 7th of November, keep an eye out on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook for the posts. And yeah, it's exciting. Glad we've got a partnership going, and hopefully it'll be not just this year, but we can keep it going year after year. So exciting news. One down, many more to go, and we'll try and get different locations. Hopefully,
around
but definitely London. If you're in and around London, every Sunday they will show the game. Yeah. And yeah, let's start by this week one. Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Did you know?
So yeah, well, back to the party real quick, just because I want to talk about it because I can't wait for it. Plenty of time, people. Plenty of time. If there's one thing I've learned. And now, please, everybody listening, Matt, please don't take offense to this. It's just an American's observation of a British culture bit. You guys don't like to travel. You guys don't like to take long drives. You guys don't like to take long train rides. We already had someone who was like, oh, I'm not going to make that trip from the Midlands. I'm like, I'm in the Midlands. It's an hour train. You could do it. Am I being crazy?
Midlands.
Huh?
You're not in the Midlands.
Are you kidding me? There's a sign right outside my A14 that says the Midlands. Look, your whole country fits into my state, okay? If anybody's got any kind of opinions about travel, it's me, all right? So I know what I'm talking about here. All right.
You love to travel anyway, so what's the big deal?
I do love to travel. But
exactly.
Please, everybody in Bills Mafia in the UK, no excuses. Let's rock this place. I don't want to say let's bring it down. We don't want that. There will be games after the Jacksonville game, obviously. But no, I'm really excited for it. I can't wait. I'm already counting down the days, and I hope every single person in the UK that reps Bills Mafia will be able to make it.
Exactly. It's going to be a great environment. We had what 60 50 60 for the playoff game.
Pre-COVID, the last time we got together for the Texans playoff game,
and
it was a hell of a time.
That was with what, like a week or two's prep, prep.
Yeah. We put that together quickly just because we had trouble finding a place, but we got a place. They're on board. They're super pumped for it. I'm super pumped for it. So you know what else I'm excited for? I'm excited for some football this week.
Yes,
some real actual stuff to get excited about.
Yeah. Quick fact before we dive into the Steelers game.
Quick fact.
Bills have obviously had 4 opening season games, 3 against the Jets, 1 against the Steelers.
We've only had 4. We've only had 4
under Sean McDermott.
Okay.
Sorry, under Sean McDermott, they've only had 4.
Could have sworn we've been around since the '60s, but yes,
they won 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But all 3 against the Jets. So
that's weird that they've all been against the Jets. That's weird.
The only one was Ravens.
Yeah, that was an ass kicking. That wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I think
how's your confidence level knowing that we're not going up against the Jets?
Yeah,
in week 1, we don't get that banker win.
I gotta say, this team is a little bit better than that team that played the Ravens. I'm sure most people remember that ass kicking. Let's not talk about it even. Let's talk about this week.
Go for it. What are you going to hit me with first?
I think the way we want to do this is we'll talk about what the big storylines are. Then we'll look at our offense versus their D, then our D versus their offense, and then make some predictions. So what I'm seeing to start the year, big storyline, Josh Allen continuing last year's success. Obviously, that's the thing that we all want the most, right?
Yeah.
What happens, what McDermott and Frazier dial up, what the players can do, our improved D-line. And then the biggest worry, I'd probably say, that we have as a fan base is going to be our secondary depth, or any other position of worry. You know, what else would it be? Maybe the O-line. But those are my 3 keys, storylines. They're not key to the game, but big storylines, things to look out for. Last year, Allen only threw for, I think, 238 yards against the Steelers. So this is one of those games where you want to see us play the way we do against shitty teams, average teams, against good teams. Obviously, we beat them the last 2 years in a row. So this defense isn't anything to be scared of because we've shown that we could beat them, right?
Yeah.
But can we get, let's throw a 30 spot on them, I mean, we've played against good passing defenses last year and torched them, the Rams, San Francisco, and whatnot. So obviously, Allen versus their defense, right? What do you think?
I think it's going to be good. I think my key is that run game. They can get that run game involved, then obviously that's going to open up a bit more play action, a bit more chance for Josh to use the arm. I mean, what they got injury report wise, I've just looked down here, and I think they've got only 3 people injured. Although TJ, what I heard was a doubt, which is probably just a smokescreen more than anything. But let's have a look. They have not practicing on Wednesday. Tyson Alulu, Kendrick Green, and Alex Highsmith. So take out 2 potentially good defensive players in Highsmith and Alulu. I probably pronounced it wrong the first time round. Gives you a little bit more flexibility. I think we've handled TJ Watt last year.
True.
Last year, Darrell Williams and just then Deion Dawkins, when he went on the other side, they pretty much nullified him.
Yeah.
So that I think can happen again. I think they've got enough. If we have to put Spencer Brown in, maybe I'm a bit anxious a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously rookie going against TJ Watt, one of the best rushers in
That's definitely something that we need to avoid. I
in
mean,
the country. But
keeping Darrell Williams. But here's the thing about TJ. I mean, there's still a narrative that he might not play due to contract issues or something. He hasn't practiced with the team. He's been at practice, but he hasn't practiced taking reps with the team. So even if he plays, one of the biggest losses that Pittsburgh's defense had is Stephon Tuitt. Losing him out in the middle there. And, we talked, you mentioned the run game. I honestly don't know what to say about our run game yet. I mean, that's kind of one of the things. Week 1, what do we know? But I mean, last year we averaged 107 yards on the ground. That's 20th in the league. I mean,
but then again, now come on to this one a little bit later. We'll talk about that.
There was only below us in terms of rushing yards per game. Only 2 teams were playoff teams, and that was Tampa and Pittsburgh at 29th and 32nd. So really, I think for this offense to take the next step forward to really keep teams guessing, it's having a more balanced offense. And I'm not saying I want to take anything away from Allen or the wide receivers. I just think that to be two-dimensional is to be much scarier.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think, let's say, it opens up more the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you even if you bring in Singletary or Moss and just have them out on screen into the passing game, you're showing them they're potentially running with that ball. You open up the play action. I mean, even bring in Reggie Gilliam. You think he's going to play? No, seriously. If you play him out at the fullback, you think, okay, he could play tight end. You might pull out. You might surprise him with a little dart. Maybe on 3rd or 4th down, 3rd and short, maybe. I don't know. Third and
short, 4th and short. We know it's Allen running the ball. If we do big heavy package on 3rd and 4th and short, those things get stopped. Quarterback sneaks are the way to go on 3rd and 4th and short. Or spread it wide, spread the defense out. You don't want all those big bodies in there on 3rd and 4th down. I know you love Gillum. I know. But if he gets more than 5 touches a game, we're either blowing a team out or we've been massacred by injuries. So let's not even think about that.
They may just be factoring into the game plan.
All right. Look, again, if the Bills do something and it works, and I said it was stupid, obviously I'll be happy to be wrong. But I think using Reggie Gilliam more often than not is going to be stupid. We're favored by 6.5. That seems a little high to me. What do you think? I mean, Pittsburgh won 11 games in a row last year.
I think that's potentially bang on, to be honest.
Really?
I think you're looking at it. Yes, you're looking at defense and looking how we got pushed. Both the games were in the last 2 years, but you have to think their O-line. They've lost 4 of the main starters from last year, so they've got a whole revamped line. I think they've got a couple of rookies playing in from the start, and with our revamped line and the more and more packages that we can really play, and plays we can do, we have a chance there to really put more pressure on, forcing more turnovers, forcing that to get to 6.5 plus on there. So I think that is the sort of area and the sort of correct odds really for it.
Well, it shows that the odds makers have a lot of faith in our offense. I think that's where 6.5 points lies. One of the challenging bits about that, though, is that Pittsburgh last year gave up the fewest completions in the league, and the 3rd fewest pass yards. And obviously that's how that's our strength, is the passing game. So those 2 things combined, make me a little bit nervous about the spread. But again, like I said, to take that next step, and the next step is the Super Bowl, obviously. But that next step to get past a Kansas City is to bury good teams. Play close games against great teams, but we have to bury good teams. We've buried average teams and bad teams last year. Now we need to bury good teams and then have that challenge against great teams. But yeah, obviously, what would you rather see? Singletary or Moss get 100, not combined, but each, not each, but like one of them get 100, or Allen go for 400? Because I don't think you get both. Allen go for 300 even, because he didn't beat 300 against them last year. Do you want to see a running game, or do you want to see us just do what we do best and attack through the air?
I would like to see this ground game.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Moss Singletary get 100. Even if Allen gets close to 300, if Singletary and Moss, either one of them can get 100, that will show what we've actually that we've decided to become more balanced, become more 3D rather than 2D, 1D, whatever you want to call it.
No, I mean, absolutely. In a perfect world, Allen can go for 3 and one of Singletary or Moss can go for 100. I think that's a big ask against a really good defense like this. But I would very much rather prefer, I think, to have Singletary or Moss go for 100. Even if it's 170 yarder and then the rest are all like little bits and pieces here. As you people like to say, bits and bobs, which is one of my favorite sayings. I love it. I say it all the time now. More, do that, and then I think this offense takes the next step forward. But
100%. I think it's also a way to control the clock a lot more. We saw it in the preseason games where they started to run a little bit more than they did pass, and they could actually wind that clock down.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what you really need. If you can keep an explosive offense, especially when we're going to face the likes of Kansas and Tennessee, so we'll still class them as an explosive offense.
Yeah,
with Julio, AJ, and obviously Derrick Henry on there. If you can run that game, control that clock by running the ball, even if they do get 100, maybe if it's 70 to 100 yards, but the time possession, ball keeping on there, we're keeping them and our defense, which is probably the critical part, even though we've got so many D linemen that we can rotate. You think of the secondary. If we can keep them off the sideline for as long as possible, it works more heavily into our favor, how we can actually, how we can progress and keep fresh going forward. So I would expect and like to see the run game become a little bit more important. Don't get me wrong. I'd love Allen to throw 300, 400 yards every game, spread it wide. And I think I said preseason, Diggs and Beasley to both get 1,000 yards receiving over the season. But I would like to see that run game take a few of those away and actually help us be more balanced and actually control games. That's how we will beat these big teams.
Well, I think exactly what you just said is pretty much what I think Pittsburgh is going to do against us. We know that Ben's getting older. He's returning all of his receivers from last year, but their new shiny toy is Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Rookie, fresh, ready to prove himself. But the biggest thing is their O-line. 4 of the 5 brand new starters. Big question mark for them. Last year, Ben led the league in passing attempts, but they weren't anywhere near the top of the league in yards passing. So if that's, and I think they're going to, for him, because what we saw out of Pittsburgh last year was a complete and utter embarrassing flame out at the end of the season.
No, 100%.
I think that's all on Ben's arm. So they're going to come out and they're going to try and Tennessee you with Najee Harris. And it's just going to be pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, and then throw the ball. That's how they beat us. This comes down to, is our D-line improved? That'll help balance out, the stopping the run versus stopping Ben from throwing the ball, giving our secondary more time. If we can get to him again, and we should, huge, thing here. Their O-line is a huge, huge question mark, and people on, Pittsburgh's side, their blogs, their fan posts are really worried about their O-line. We need all of our guys to go out there and just ball out and get to Ben, get to Najee Harris early, force them into a deep passing game, which plays into our strength.
Yeah, I think that's why it's one of the keys that obviously they're pretty much lost four of them, because it means that they've only had training camp and they probably haven't played every single one of them, or their preferred starting five in that preseason very often. That you're then relying on them to make the plays for Harris. I mean, this will show how valuable Star is to his team.
Right.
Because obviously last year, up until what was it, just after the bye week, we got pretty much ran over
Yeah. Well, if Star
with runs.
plays, he didn't practice yesterday, Wednesday.
Okay,
So
so
big
there's
question mark
possible
there.
maybe veteran, maybe rest day, but something to watch on for. But with that O line of Pittsburgh and the fact that we've got Star back, this will be a true test, especially on this defense, with all the pieces that you can put around him: Hughes, Abada, Russo, Oliver, all around him, beat it up. This shows how well and how important Star is and how sorely he was missed last year. Because if he was here last year, and we can see this year that he actually has improved and actually has really kept that run defense down, then we know that last year, if we had him, we probably would have given KC a bigger game in that championship game.
Let's
It's what if, it's
not worry about
speculation.
last year.
Yeah, I know. I know. I said it's
Okay.
what if, it's in
Yeah.
the past, but
Mhm.
I'm just saying that we could see that he is that important cog, that under the radar player on
Oh,
that
of course.
defense,
Yeah. I
to
mean,
actually make this defense back to where it was
they didn't go out and
before.
get a run stopper because they knew Star was coming back. So they clearly still believe in him.
Yeah.
And then another weakness on our defense that Pittsburgh can exploit is our linebacking core in the passing game. The teams last year, on average, on their own average of targeting tight ends, did it more against us than they did against other teams. So teams come in knowing that they can target their tight ends and find success in it against our defense. Can we fix that this year? Ebron in the red zone, out inside the 20, Ebron not heavily targeted. In the red zone, Ebron's the biggest benefactor of targets once they make the red zone. So they go to him, they target him. What are we going to do to stop it?
I think it's personnel more than anything. I mean,
It's the same personnel as last year.
It depends on what personnel. I mean, obviously you'll have Milano, who's probably one of the best coverage linebackers there. Maybe not the strongest, maybe the most biggest of hitters on there, but he's a good coverage guy in there. Maybe they bring Saran Neal into that big nickel role, or you've got Andre Smith, who's pretty much a hard hitter. We saw that against Justin Fields, and can go sideline to sideline in there to actually keep up.
Mhm.
I think this year, I think Frazier and McDermott probably have seen what happened last year and actually found that way to do it. I mean,
So it's not personnel, it's scheming.
Yeah. Did I say personnel? Okay, scheme.
Yeah.
Scheme, personnel, same thing.
It's all right. Week
Personnel,
one
different
jitters.
personnel
Don't
in there,
worry about
different
it.
scheme.
Week one jitters. Don't worry about it.
No. Different personnel, different scheme. Works, meshes together.
All right. If that's a good way to talk yourself out of that. So we're looking at the linebackers versus Ebron. We're looking at Najee Harris. Big Ben, which one are we going to get? You know, it has time caught up to him, or is he going to start hot like he did last year? He had a good year for all intents and purposes. I mean, 33 touchdowns on the year. So he was successful through the air. It's just they fell apart late. And luckily that's when we played them last year. But this year, week one, fresh, healthy. Are you worried about Big Ben and his receivers? Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster.
I'm more worried about the receivers than I am Big Ben. Because even if Big Ben can get out to them, whether it be deep, short, and all that, especially Chase Claypool, who can be definitely a mismatch in the red zone. But you've got two guys in Johnson and Smith-Schuster who have a bit of juice in them. That one missed tackle, and you're going to have to think who's Trey White's going to cover. Levi Wallace and Teron Johnson, Teron Neal, whoever, Dane Jackson are going to have to cover the others. We know Levi is improved, can hold down the second corner spot, but tackles, it's the tackles. One missed tackle, if the ball gets to Johnson or Smith-Schuster, no matter how far Big Ben throws it, could cause a lot of issues with the Yaks.
Yeah,
So I'm more scared of the wide receivers than anything.
Okay, so how the Bills win this game? What do you think?
4 more points.
I'm asking you, what do the Bills have to do to win this game?
Score more points.
Ugh, you're the worst.
No, it's just play the game. Don't play the clock. Don't play the crowd, because obviously the crowd it's going to be a home game, so the crowd are really going to be energetic. If something goes wrong and the crowd does get a bit buoy, then just play your game.
There's no way the crowd gets buoy.
I know.
No, that's not.
I know. I'm just saying.
This isn't a Sabres game.
I am just. No, if it's just play the game, play what's in front of you. Doesn't matter if they're blitzing 3, blitzing 4, and all that. Just play the play you've been given. If Allen needs it, he can audible out, but just play. Don't play against the clock. Just play what's in front of you. I think they do that and not worry about any other external factors. I think that is the way that they can actually win this game.
All right. I'm looking at this as something where our depth is better than theirs. When we're on offense, if they could take away Diggs, then they don't have the personnel to match up with Davis, Beasley, Sanders. Sprinkle in a little bit of Knox, just a little bit, not too much, please.
Boy, Sweeney.
We've shown that we can handle TJ Watt. Whatever their defense throws at us, we were able to beat it last year. They're returning most guys, and they lost to it. We don't know if Watt plays. They might be handicapped for this. This is an opportunity for us, I think, to really go out and assert dominance in the AFC, showing, hey, everybody thinks this Pittsburgh defense is good. Look at our offense. It's just that much better. I said earlier that I want us to establish the run. You know what? You do need to play a little bit of take what they give you. If their front 7 can stop the run, if their defensive line can handle our offensive line on the ground, don't force it. Go spread it out. Do what you can. We saw early, in the preseason game, Allen peppering Sanders. If he works him and Beasley short, that'll open things up for Diggs and Davis down the field. Kumro, maybe, in a little deep slant again. Give me some more of that. So
Isaiah McKenzie on the sweep and on the throw.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy to think about how easily I forgot about Isaiah McKenzie. It just goes to show the riches that we have on offense. And I think Pittsburgh will, their coordinators are probably have already some sleepless nights trying to figure out how to stop every single person. There's no way they can. They can't. So the key to stopping everybody, all personnel, is obviously getting to Allen. They weren't able to do that last year. They only had 1 sack on us. So I'm pretty sure this is a game where, you know what? I've actually talked myself into the spread. I think I like it now. Because when I look at how the Steelers can beat us, they only have a few options in that. And that's their star defensive players have to win their matchups and cause turnovers. On offense, they have to hope that their O-line plays well enough and Najee doesn't get, the rookie, yips. There's so much that can go right for us. And there's such a narrow margin of possibility of victory for the Steelers to come out with a win. Yeah. If Harris does get close to 150, if he eats, then I'm worried, because if they keep Allen off the field, obviously that's how you beat us, So we've seen it happen, but it was really only Kansas City that was able to do that last year, not in the not in the playoff game, but in the regular season, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, But this is Kansas City is obviously a better team than Pittsburgh is. So game prediction. I said it earlier, it's week 1, right? Anything can happen. There is no DVOA. There are no advanced stats on what these teams are and who, is better, who's worse. We don't know anything. I think I heard Kyle Brandt say week 1 is a liar. Because week 1 isn't what the whole season is. Weird shit happens in week 1.
Like Nate Peterman playing.
I hope that the weirdness of week 1 isn't going to be anything of that matter. I hope the weirdness of week 1 is like Allen throws for 500. The weirdness of week 1 could be us just demolishing a Pittsburgh team who's trying to refine their footing, whereas we're trying to climb Mount Everest and we're almost there. 27-20 Bills.
Okay. I've got a reputation to have, haven't I, after last year?
You do have a pretty good knack for making predictions.
Damn it. Okay. We've got 3, 10, 7, 4, 7, 7. Okay, Steelers going to get 17.
Okay.
I think. Oh, God. 30-17 Bills.
30. Put that 30 spot on them. Love to see it.
30-17. There's going to be 4 sacks. Abada's going to get 1. Rousseau's going to get 1. And Ed Oliver will get at least 1.
Okay.
I'm not going to predict the last one, but I know those 3 will get a sack.
All right. I like it.
I'll go bold. I'm going bold with my hot takes this year.
Anything else? Any predictions for the offense?
Offense. Gilliam will get a touchdown.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, good. Touchdowns are good. I can't complain about who gets them.
Gilliam will get a touchdown.
All right.
Stamp it.
So from the beginning, I said I didn't like the spread, but then I talked about the game points. Now I love the spread. You are looking for some weird stuff.
Yep.
But I love the call on defense, getting to Ben. Huge. Love to see this defense ball out week 1. So we got some.
So all we say is to the guys that are actually that are obviously listening and follow us, that actually are going to Fitzrover Bell this weekend, enjoy, have fun, and watch as the Bills actually demolish the Steelers. Don't forget to keep following us at RWBB_podcast at UK_Bills on Twitter. Give Charlie and Tim a listen at Bills from Afar, their Bills at Afar podcast on Twitter. They're now entering the season mode like us, and I hear they've got a big show planned for, which I think will come out tomorrow. So
awesome.
Give them a listen, give them a follow. Buffalo Bills UK on Facebook and on YouTube, and UK_Bills on Instagram. Hit subscribe, hit follow, like, share, tell your friends, even if they're neutrals. Tell them, come to the Bills. We're fun. We're going to have fun.
Even if they're a fan of any other team, who's more fun than us?
Exactly.
Nobody.
So hit the subscribe, hit the follow. Get the notification for when we go live with a podcast or a YouTube video. I think we've got a couple coming up soon. And obviously keep an eye out on social media for more information about the big meetup on November the 7th. So unless you have anything else to add, Alex?
Hey, go Bills.
Then for me and Alex, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for listening. Have fun on Sunday if you're watching the game, wherever you watch it. And let's go Buffalo. Go Bills.
Yeah, go Bills.